Save the Semantics, episode 196. It is December 30th, 2022. My name is Myro. This is the podcast where we ramble on for a bit about some shit. This is probably going to be a two-parter. First half might be cut a little short. But I just wanted to throw some of my thoughts out there since it's been a little bit since I last recorded. Yeah, it's been what? I don't know. I don't even know. I'm losing track of time, but I know it's been a while since I've sat down and just talked. So, just wanted to do that, especially before going into the new year. Not that it really matters, honestly, but just in terms of timing and consistency and shit, you know what I mean? I think it would be good to just get something out there. But yeah, this is probably going to be the first half of the recording, and then second half I might do it tomorrow, depending on how I feel. So yeah, or I could just do it in the new year. Who knows? But yeah, some nice things to kind of, I guess, appreciate for right now, and things to kind of look forward to. I'm on a nice little break right now, so I'm gonna try my best to just really, just try to take things in and relax and shit. And so far I feel like I've been doing that for the most part. I'm not crazy about New Year's, I guess, but I am excited. I have some, I guess, I just a general sense of well-being that I guess I'm looking forward to going into the new year, I guess. I know I said I wouldn't do resolutions and shit like that, but there are things that I do want to kind of try to do, or I guess attempt to do once the new year starts. I have kind of a small list of things, you know what I mean? A lot of it are things related to kind of outside of work, I guess. Just because I think, again, I don't know, there are things that I want to just improve on, whatever that may be. I feel like right now, I'll say, in terms of my general state of being, I'm doing decent, I guess. I'm doing solid. Like, it's not, I wouldn't say that I'm doing like extraordinarily well, but I'm doing, just solid for the most part. I think, I don't know, this past week has just really just been kind of me just cruising through shit and not really worrying about too much else, I guess. Which has been both nice and also, I don't know, I like having things on my plate. So it's like, I guess I get kind of like, I get kind of caught up in my like thoughts about just like what, like if I don't have shit going on, like if I'm bored, it's hard for me to really concentrate on doing stuff. You know what I mean? Like I like having, I don't know, I sometimes like having kind of like a list of things to do, which is kind of why I've listed out a lot of games that I've wanted to play. That's like one thing that I kind of have sort of as like as I guess you could call it a project, hobby. I don't know, but I don't know. I like sort of having that sort of set list of potential goals and things to do. It's just sort of nice to have that. So yeah, I don't know. There are other things that I kind of want to maybe throw on there as well. So yeah, no resolutions, none of that shit. But I just have, I guess, like a minor bucket list of things to do. And then there's other, I'm already thinking of some travel plans and shit, going into the next year. So those are some things that I'm sort of excited to, I guess, put on my plate, and hopefully it's something that I can kind of endeavor on going forward. I think some of the trips that I do want, and I know I'm speaking kind of vaguely here, but Some of the trips that I do want to go on are a bit more, I guess, challenging, I guess. At least one of them is. So, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I don't know. There are a lot of things to look forward to, and I kind of want to I want to sort of go into the next year feeling as there are things to kind of, yeah, look forward to um, instead of just going with the flow, even though that's kind of what I'm doing right now. Um, living in the present, that sort of thing. Sometimes it's really hard to strike a balance where I really struggle to, I guess, I think the big thing is that I kind of daydream a lot about the future and kind of expectations on what of things that I'm sort of anticipating going into the future and things that I kind of want, expected results from things. I don't know. So I'm really, that's something that I've always kind of, or I guess recently I've really tried to get better with, is tempering my expectations and just having, I don't know, if things don't go the way that I sort of wanted them to just kind of accept that and then understand that it's not like a lost cause. Like, for example, I don't know, a few years back when I was like applying for my jobs and shit, like my expected result was to get a job with the company that I wanted to work with. And that didn't really turn out the way it did, which of course I was like disappointed and stuff. But I think sometimes I feel that I could be like really hard on myself when things don't go the way they do. So yeah, I think I just need to be better with like setting those kinds of expectations and then like handling failure, I guess. Yeah. Anyways, a lot of just rambling about shit, but yeah, I don't know. I think there are things to look forward to. Definitely things to look forward to going into the next year. I guess like, yeah, I don't know. It's I just want to be more excited about things. You know what I mean? Like I feel there are a few things. There aren't that many things that I'm like really like, oh, this is something that I really want to do. That's like nothing like that is really coming to mind right now. And so I'm just like, I'm trying to like, I don't know. I'm trying to kind of find that, if that makes sense. Like, oh man, I really want to do this thing. Like I want to have that next year. You know what I mean? Last year or this past year, I wanted to travel to Europe, and I did that, and I'm really happy that I did that. So yeah, I guess that's like, that's not really a resolution. That's just something that I want to do. Yeah, I want to find something next year that I really want to do, and then kind of like set a goal and then kind of complete it. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to really be that big, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I just haven't really found that yet. You know what I mean? So, I guess I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I will stumble across it sometime, but we will see. Speaking of, I guess, getting through shit, goal setting or whatever the fuck I was talking about. I sound like a goddamn fucking manager, corporate person of that shit. Kind of. I don't know. I've started to play Final Fantasy VII, and it's been awesome so far. I've been having so much fun with it. I am grateful. I'm playing the Switch version of it. I am grateful for the speed up option, and then also turning off random encounters. Oh my god, those are game changers. It's crazy. I don't know if I really have. There are a lot of older games that I would love to play, but I just don't have. I don't think I have the patience for a lot of the archaic kind of elements of those older games, especially older JRPG games. So I think the fact that they've added those two options is awesome. It's really great. And so far it's like there was a point where I forgot to save the game because I had to deal with something, and I was like, fuck that like I just kind of ate away an hour of my time there. I have to somehow get it back. But luckily, when you speed up the game, you can easily just get through a certain section of the game really quickly. And luckily, the place where I saved the game beforehand, it wasn't that far off from where I had left it, so it wasn't too bad at all. So yeah, it's so good to just be able to do that, and especially there are certain sections of the game where they're pretty. There's a pretty wide area to walk around on. So, and the walking animation is usually is pretty slow. So I like to kind of speed it up, just to get to one point to the next, because it really doesn't, that's not really part of the game that I'm really like. Yeah, I love the walking. That's my favorite part of of these games. I mean, like, you could argue that there's some, you're experiencing the environments and the scenarios and stuff like that. I understand, but for older games it's a little different. Yeah, it's been a really good time. I'm about like 6 hours in, so maybe like I'm trying to think. It's like a decent amount, not super far yet, but pretty solid progress so far. There's this one sequence in the game that was kind of like unexpected. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't expect there to be kind of this like actiony portion of the game. And that was awesome. That was such a great sequence following I guess this like dungeon in the game. It was great. I really enjoyed that. This is my second attempt at playing Final Fantasy. The first time I played it, I had the Japanese PlayStation, the original PlayStation 1 version of it, and I tried to play it on my PlayStation 2, the Japanese PlayStation 2, but unfortunately, I can't really read a lot of Japanese, especially kanji, so I just was missing a ton of cues and a lot of the dialogue. I was just like, I didn't really know what was going on. Like, it was obvious, the first 10 minutes of the game is pretty obvious, right? It's pretty straightforward and easy to understand what's going on, but you'll miss kind of the nuance of what they're talking about and kind of these like character developments. So I didn't really continue it from there. So it's been a long time since I last played it. Maybe in like, I don't know, probably almost 10 years. But yeah, it's been a really fun experience so far, and I can't wait to kind of see what's next. I'm planning on trying to beat this maybe within the next month or so. I think that's pretty plausible for the most part, considering the progress that I'm making. And yeah, I think I'm gonna continue to play it this weekend and just kind of have I don't know, just game it out, I guess, probably tomorrow and the day after and shit. It's gonna be a good time, so I am looking forward to that. This is the second half of this episode. A few days later now, we're in the new year. It's January 2nd. So much has happened. Oh my god, no, I'm kidding. Nothing's really changed all that much. But yeah, we're in the new year, and I was sort of I feel like I was maybe a little harsh or maybe a little negative on kind of the New Year's resolution things. Here's the thing. I think it's good to have goals. I think resolutions for me, it feels a little too definite in the sense that if I set like a resolution or something, it's like if I don't meet it, then it's like, okay, well, shit, man. You know what I mean? So I kind of I sort of like to have maybe these, I don't know, stretch goals, whatever the fuck you want to call them, where I have these things that I kind of want to do, but I don't. I don't know. I don't want to. Like if I say like, oh, I'm gonna start going to the gym, I'm not. Like I'm not gonna start going to the gym. You know what I mean? I haven't gone to the gym in forever, and I don't know if I'm really going to this year. I'd say for the most part, I guess if we're touching upon like physical health and whatnot, I'd say for the most part I feel decent about my physical health. I'm not, I haven't really been super active recently, just because the weather has been kind of it's been raining like a fuck ton. There's been a lot of flooding happening around here. So I've mostly just been a homebody, so not a whole lot of going out and exercising in that sense. So I don't know. I think I'd say for the most part I'd like to be consistent, but I also, again, I think it's good to want to feel stronger physically, to feel it more in shape and whatnot. So I think if I ever get to a point where I maybe feel like I'm lacking in something, then yeah, I think I want to try to change things up. But I'd say for the most part I feel decent in terms of my physical health, you know what I mean? So that's that. I guess touching upon my mental health, of course, quote unquote resolutions, or things that I want to kind of improve going forward. I go through stretches. Like today, I went through like this stretch where I just felt like dog shit for no specific reason. I think anytime I sleep poorly or something like that, I just feel awful the next day, you know what I mean? So yeah, sleep is something that I always need to kind of work on, because I always kind of I always run into the issue where my sleep is affecting my well-being day to day. Just kind of, going about things. I approach things differently. Like some days, if I don't sleep well the night before, I'm incredibly like cranky and shit, and I just don't feel good at all. You know what I mean? It sounds kind of basic for that, but it really does, and it sucks because I like to kind of stay up a little late, and recently that's been the case because I've been on this short little break and I've been staying up pretty late at night. Yeah, that's the thing. I just wish there was more time during the day in general, right, where I just could kind of just do a bunch of shit, whatever it is. It doesn't really have to be anything specific, but yeah, I really need to be a bit more disciplined when it comes to sleeping on time and good sleep. Consistently going to bed on time, you know what I mean? Because it's been fluctuating. I mean, recently I've been going to bed to like fucking 1 or 2 a.m., which is pretty late for me, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. I need to be better about that, because it really does affect how I feel during the day. And that's huge. That's like a huge thing that I've kind of consistently noticed, with me, is that if I don't sleep well, I'm a fucking asshole to myself, really. And it sucks. So, yeah, I need to kind of improve in that regard. I need maybe just, I don't know, really try to stick to like a routine. It's really hard, man. It's really hard for me to build up a good habit, in terms of sleeping and shit. So, that's work. That's kind of work that actually needs to be done. You know what I mean? Not just, I wouldn't even really consider it a resolution. It's just something that I really should do going forward, because, that can really affect everything. You know what I mean? There's like that one book, pretty popular book regarding sleep. I forgot who it was written by, but it was written by like an actual like sleep researcher. And I want to read that because it seems really interesting. I think it's like Why We Sleep or something like that. Um, yeah, I think that's something that's kind of on my list of things that I want to check out as well. So, yeah, sleep, mental health, physical health, for the most part. Yeah, I don't know. And other goals, I don't really have. I really want to find something to kind of latch onto, because I don't know. It doesn't really have to be something crazy, but I'm just like, there hasn't really been something. There hasn't really been anything that's really like hooked me recently. You know what I mean? Whether it's, I don't know, medium. I mean, like, of course, I'm really enjoying playing through my kind of, through the games that I'm playing through right now. But in terms of other things, I haven't really found something that's been like, damn, this is something that I like to consistently do. You know what I mean? I guess this podcast, but it's really just, it's generally just me just kind of summarizing things that I have done. It's like I'm trying to find shit to talk about. So I think it would be great if I just ran across something that it's like, okay, this is like a cool thing that I can sort of stick with outside of work, of course, you know what I mean? So, yeah. Other than that, I generally, I want to be more optimistic about things. Of course, I can't force myself to be optimistic about things, but I do want to I do want to be more, I don't know, I just want to be more open-minded about possibilities of things happening in the future. And I think that should be the case regardless of, the year changing and whatnot. But I guess if there's an incentive for me to kind of approach things differently, then might as well just take advantage of that. But yeah, I guess some goal setting going forward into the next year. Like some general things, as I mentioned before, I do want to travel again at least once, regardless of kind of where it is. I do want to go somewhere different. And I don't know, just stick to. It would be some cool things would be to, I guess, try out some new shit. I don't know what the fuck it would be. Try new food. I guess that kind of comes in hand with like traveling and stuff. Play through more games whenever I'm able to, like right now. And then I don't know. There's a lot of things that I do want to kind of, I guess, experience. It's just a matter of like how I feel about how I feel going about it in this current time. You know what I mean? I think also it's also like raining, because of the fact that it's been fucking raining like crazy. I also have been kind of just not in the mood to really do anything. That's just why I kind of just stuck as, isolated at home and whatnot. So, it is what it is. I'm not all doom and gloom, so, yeah. A lot of generalizations this episode. Next time I want to talk. I have kind of like my initial thoughts of playing through Final Fantasy VII. I don't really have it super well articulated right now, but yeah, and I'm about, I don't know how far I am. I think maybe like a third ish of the game. I've been enjoying it for sure. I've been sort of playing it kind of unconventionally, in the sense that I'm really only focusing on the story, because that's kind of what I really care about. Any side stuff I'm probably not gonna do. Yeah, I'm really just concentrating on the story, because that's really is what kind of I guess what impressed me to play this game in the first place. Of course I've been wanting to play this game for a very long time. So main story is really the focus. If there's any other miscellaneous shit that kind of gets thrown in there during my play, then that's a plus. But yeah, I'm really just focusing on the story. And that's kind of the case for a lot of the games that I do want to play through, is really just get through the story. Case in point, BioShock. The first BioShock was kind of really my... I really just was trying to get through the story. I didn't really care for... The combat's not really my cup of tea. I'm not a fan of, like, first-person shooters in that way. But the story was interesting enough for me to really hook me and get me kind of invested in the world. And again, BioShock 2 is sort of on my back burner there. So that's something that I do want to play in the future. I don't know if I'm going to get to it really soon, I guess. I'm sort of prioritizing Final Fantasy VII for now. And then Persona 5 I'm probably going to get to after I beat 7. So yeah, there's some things that I have that I want to play. Nier's another one I've talked about before. I've really wanted to play Nier. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. By the time, like, the next few months pass by, it's going to be May, and then Tears of the Kingdom is going to come out. So, damn, it's tough, man. It's tough. But you shift things around based on what you feel, and you play things based on what you feel. So, yeah, right now I'm just kind of in, sort of, I guess, RPG kind of mood. I mean, I'm always in an RPG mood, you know what I mean? But yeah, I want to get through at least 7 within, this next month, like I've mentioned. And then from then on, I'm going to figure out, probably going to be playing a little more Persona. And yeah, that's probably going to be it for this episode. Once again, it's all over the place. But that's just kind of where my head's at right now. Not super coherent in really anything. Yeah. Happy New Year's to anyone that's listening. And thank you for listening. This has been Save the Semantics. Signing off.